Benjamin Ward, welcome. How you doing, sir?
I am not too bad, Asim Tanvir. You are here to tell me about the division.
I am here to tell you about the division. Before we get into it, you have played a bit, but you haven't played the beta, whatever.
That
What do they call it?
is, that's right. Basically, I've not had a chance to get my teeth stuck into it yet. I think I've probably got a code somewhere. I'm not 100% sure, but
Okay.
basically, I've not had a chance because of work and all sorts of other crazy things, and the witness taking up time. But that's another video that's coming.
Yeah.
That's another video that's coming. Yeah, I mean, I've played a little bit, played a bit at EGX. Um, I wasn't particularly sold on what I played at EGX because
Yeah.
obviously, show floor demos, they're quite difficult to get across the scope of everything.
Yeah.
But you've obviously played quite a bit, and from what I can understand, you're quite taken with it. So,
I didn't expect to like it this much because Destiny, I thought it was okay at the start, but then after, because the story was, pretty much non-existent. The content was quite repetitive. I know they've improved the Taken, like with the Taken King now and stuff like that, but
mhm.
still, I think it's bit too late for me to get into it. And this is a similar type of game,
Right.
in most respects, but it seems to have some substance to it.
Okay.
From what I've played so far in the beta or beta, I don't know how to pronounce that shit. Whatever, I'm just calling it beta. And there's a one story mission, and then there's like other like encounters and stuff around in the PvE areas.
hmm
And then you've got the dark zone as well. So I'll start off with the PvE stuff. So you start off, there's a nice cutscene, gets you introduced to everything, all the mechanics and everything like that. And it makes you feel like there is something going on here in New York. There's there's some terrible thing that's happened. There's an outbreak and things are contaminated, and you're part of the division, and you're trying to keep things ticking along essentially.
hmm
So there is a story, which is cool. And there's cutscenes to go along with that story, and then there's like one story mission which you do, which is in a hospital. I think you're rescuing a doctor, so you can upgrade your medical wing and start to kind of like, help people out in New York, because that's where the game's set,
Okay.
and that's where you get introduced to your base of operations,
Right.
which consists of the medical wing, a security wing, and a tech one. I want to say, I think it's a tech one, yeah. But in the beta, you can only just like do like 10% of the medical wing, and that's really it. But it just gives you a feel of stuff.
Yeah.
So it seems like there's this world New York, and there's stuff going on around you, which is cool. And you'll after you do the story mission, you kind of go around and you like there's encounters with the AI, and as you level up, they level up, gets harder. There's like high level enemies, and all that stuff as you'd expect from an RPG, which is
hmm
a key point here. It's more RPG than it is shooter,
Okay.
which people might not expect. I mean, the shooting mechanics are good. They're not. It's not amazing, when it comes to third person shooter wise. You do upgrade your weapons as you'd expect. RPG again, like you do upgrade your weapons. You get attachments and stuff you find. Um, you've got abilities as well. So like the first few ones are like to do with like you've got sticky bomb, you've got a pulse thing which just kind of indicates enemies around you. Lots of tech, and then you've got like a shield as well. And there's
Okay.
one that I've got right now because I upgraded the medical wing, which heals not only me but people in my vicinity.
Okay.
So your teammates or because you can again you can party up with other people, so that's really cool as well. And
Mm.
they'll become your squad, like up to four people, and you go around New York, trying to do encounters and missions together. Um, so yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. But the thing that I really like the most is the dark zone.
Okay.
So if you don't know, this is the PvP area. So this is where you go into. This is kind of the area which anything goes essentially. You will find it's populated mostly with other human players, but there will be AI there as well, high level AI. So you can team up with other humans, or you can turn on them as well.
Okay.
And if you turn on them, you become rogue, and if people search for you or like find you, you'll show up red, which means you've gone rogue, and there'll
Mm.
be a bounty on your head. So people will actively either avoid you because they're scared of you if they're low level. Because like we were playing it, I was playing with a couple of guys, Aaron and Ariel, and we were low level, and this guy went rogue who was like level 8 in the dark zone, because there's two different levels. You've got one for the PvE and you got one for the PvP, which is the dark zone. So two different levels.
Okay, that sounds
Um,
interesting.
yeah, and we were really low level. We went in there and essentially just got fucked up. And we the first time we went in there, actually, we are like, you know what? Let's go try and be like dicks and just like be rogue and stuff like that. And doing it at a low level, it's not a good idea because you will get shot down really quickly. And the key thing about it is like in the dark zone, there's a fear, there's a sense of paranoia because like
Right.
any time another human can just shoot you and like
Okay.
take your, because like the main thing about the dark zone is it has the best loot. And again, this is
Ah,
kind of
right. Okay.
where it has similarities to Destiny. Like it is about getting good loot, and this area is key for that. Like you'll get loot, and then people will see like if you've got loot, you'll have like a yellow sack on your back.
Oh,
Um,
okay. So it's kind of it's very evident when you've picked that stuff up.
when you've picked up stuff. Obviously, the other people won't know what you have, and you won't know what you have until you've extracted it, which is a key point. Because this area is so contaminated, you can't just like take it out. You have to extract it. You have to call an extraction at these points and extract it out to your base.
Oh, and then it'll
Uh,
be cleaned and all the
and then
rest of
it'll
it.
be cleaned.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
so it's basically like a a mad dash to get to these extraction points once you've got loot. And but when you get to these extraction points and you call in extraction, sorry, that's me playing Division in the background as well. So when you do call in extraction, other people will know that you called it in one, and they
Okay.
can rush there, and like they can try to be friendly at first, but when you're just about to go and extract it, they can shoot you down and take your loot and just run off.
Right.
So there's
Okay.
that sense of paranoia, but that's and people who are like, oh, that guy's being a dick or whatnot, but that's part of the game. That's part of what Division is all about. This, the Dark Zones is this area where it's kind of kill or be killed almost.
I
It's like
suppose that's kind of it's quite clever in the fact that you've got. I mean, obviously the game's called The Division, which
yeah,
is that's like that's the group that you play as, I think, isn't it?
yeah,
The
yeah,
division
yeah.
within
That's right.
the Secret Service or wherever it is. But then also you have like the other meaning of the word the division, where you've got
Yeah,
this divide between humanity, where you can either be benevolent or or right or whatever, whichever way you want to
yeah,
go
yeah.
with it. That sounds quite interesting,
It's a
actually.
really good mechanic, I think, in the future. It just makes that whole zone, just full of paranoia. Because like there's two different examples. Like when we were playing it first, and we got to kind of a high level in the dark zone, we were trying to go around and kind of be friendly with people.
Hmm.
And you will get people like being friendly with you and joining up with you, and trying to get their extracting stuff out as well as yours and help you. But then you will get dicks as well.
Well, it's the
But
internet, of course. There's going to be
it's the
dicks.
internet, but that's part of the game as well. That's the thing. It's about this outbreak and contamination and society falling to pieces and kind of like seeing what happens almost. And the way it crosses over to the dark zone is a really cool and a kind of a neat idea. And it works well from what I've played so far in the beta. And that's where I've kind of spent most of my time. I have spent some time in the PvE area, just like leveling up a bit and kind of seeing what New York has to offer.
Hmm.
But this is just a small portion, and I'm really enjoying it. And like, I think one of the key points is one of the people like that people will ask is like, how how does it look? And it does look good, but not as good as that first E3 demo.
Well,
Uh,
I think it was never going to look that good, really, was it? It
no.
was an interesting situation with that E3 demo. Um,
Yeah, it was kind of like,
it was a target render.
it was a tech demo
Yeah,
showing off what they could, what their ideas were essentially, and it was sharpened up and whatnot, made to look, high res and everything like that.
yeah,
But the game does look good. The game does look good. It doesn't look bad by any stretch of the imagination whatsoever.
cool.
It does look good. There is a day-night cycle, and then like it's snowing, and it will look really cool. There'll be like really cool like fog effects and steam effects. Probably the best I've seen actually on in any game. Is kind of like the detail from it and the reflections and stuff from melted snow and everything like that.
Oh, that's
Really
nice.
cool.
And you
And
can shut car
obviously
doors. You
you
can
can
shut
shut
car.
car doors. I was gonna say that. I've been playing for like 6 hours and like with like Aaron and Ariel, and every time I see a car door that's open, I have to go and close it. I have to go and close it. It's just it has to be done because it's just and it hasn't worn off of me yet. It probably will after like 200 hours maybe, you know. But it's cool. It's still in the game. So people worried about that. It's in the game. Like you can do that.
I mean, I think from what I've seen of it, it looks really nice. As you say, it's not quite to that initial standard
No,
of the
no.
reveal, but the one thing that does strike me is that it seems to be frighteningly realistic in terms of like the map of New York.
Yes, it is.
So
I've been
that's
to New York, and I recognize some of the streets and some of the like the spots. Like Madison Square Garden is a key one. That's like where I think that's one of the only mission in the beta, or beta, whatever. Sorry, it is kind of near Madison Square Garden. So yeah, like there are key points.
mm,
And in the map itself, it's pretty big in the beta, but I imagine it will be, there'll be more stuff to do in the final game.
yeah,
Like the map's kind of broken out into the PVE area and the PvP, the Dark Zone,
hmm,
which is all highlighted in red.
okay,
And like you've got checkpoints that lead you through to the Dark Zone, and like before you go in, like there's like vendors and stuff you can buy things from, but you obviously need to be a certain level. Again, that's where the similarities with like Destiny come in. You're like these vendors will have the more high level stuff and the better stuff.
hmm,
In and around the dark zone, you've got vendors and stuff at your base of operations, but they'll have good stuff, but not the good, like the best stuff, like the rare stuff.
yeah,
And the rare stuff you'll find either from these vendors or you'll find actually kind of roaming around the dark zone and looting stuff. So that's kind of the main emphasis of the dark zone. And I think that for me is actually the best part of the game. That like just going out there and having that. There is I'm going to repeat myself again, but there is a distinct sense of paranoia when you go into it. Like again, we were playing and we were just like looking for like these areas, and like you run across people and you're like, okay, don't shoot me, please don't shoot me. I'm just trying to extract my stuff. Don't do it.
mm,
There was one instance actually in one of the videos I did where I managed to extract my stuff, but there was like a few seconds before the helicopter came, like for the extraction, where a couple of other guys were like being friendly with us,
mm.
like doing like these jumping jacks and waving and all that sort of stuff. And they're like, okay, these guys are friendly. And as soon as I extracted my stuff, they started shooting me. I was like,
I
whoa!
think I caught that bit on the live stream actually.
We just legged it. I just tried to leg it out of there. I think I died, but there's been a few instances where I just legged it out of there. I was like, yeah, just run, because these guys are are slightly higher level than you, so it's like, yeah, just run. Yeah, and we've had many instances like that where just there's a like, whoa, just don't, it's like an uneasy truce sort of going on for a few seconds, and it's like, fuck it,
Yeah.
bam, 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 let's shoot these guys. We want their stuff.
Okay.
So that's one of the coolest things about it, I think. And just in general, I think it's got a really nice setup, like the base of operations, the abilities, like the way you can mod your weapons. You'll find like attachments for weapons, scopes, suppressors, all that sort of stuff. There also seems to be, which is not available in the beta, like talents and perks as well.
Okay.
So you can like upgrade, I guess, and add more skills to your arsenal, I guess.
Mm.
But yeah, there's lots of variation in that, and I think this is where they probably learned from Destiny's mistakes, like when it first came out.
Well, I
Uh,
think from what you've said, it sounds like they've particularly with things like the base of operations, it sounds like they've really taken on board a lot of the not necessarily the failings of Destiny, but like the frustrations that people had with it, where they be saying, "Oh, there's not enough content in the game," or
yeah,
it doesn't feel that substantial. I mean, from what you've played so far, obviously,
yeah.
it's a very very limited
Oh yeah,
view of
yeah.
it, but does it feel like it's going to be a much more substantial world, if that's probably the right way of putting it, or
Yeah, I think so. I think so. From what I played so far, it certainly seems like it. I mean, yeah, the way world is set up, it just feels more reactive. It feels more alive. If that
cool?
makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
Which is really cool. So yeah, I think, yeah, to answer your question in a nutshell, yes, I think right now it seems like it's more substantial than Destiny.
Cool. Well, that seems like a good enough place to leave it. It's definitely going to be one that I'm a little bit more intrigued by now. I know I was quite down on it after seeing
Yeah,
it at EGX. It really did feel like a very generic cover shooter, because it was just essentially they threw you into one of the dark zone areas, I think, and they said, "Go on, off you go."
yeah.
Whereas from what you said there, I think you've sold me a lot more on it than the demo did.
Yeah, they've improved the shooting a bit as well from previous code as well. So the shooting feels more weighty, I guess, now as well, and a bit more kick to it. So yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's good. So if you you haven't played it yet and you've got like a code roaming around, try it out.
Yeah, I'll
It's
definitely
good.
try and get on it before the beta finishes. So that's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, good. Yeah, I'm
Awesome.
looking forward to it. But yeah, that's my Destiny impressions. Destiny
Destiny,
impressions,
the
the
Division.
Division impressions. Pretty much the same game, isn't it? The Division beta or beta again. I fucking don't know how to say that. Impressions. But yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll be back with some more stuff soon. Bye.
Bye.